Sports Matters TV.
Okay guys, this Sports Matters interview is brought to you by MSCCasino.com and the Macau Casino. Play and get rewarded at MSCCasino.com. We've got to give a big shout out as well to Suit Distributors and the River Lane Bar on Blarney Street. I'm joined by a snooker sensation, a lad that I know quite well. Aaron Hill, he's made headlines throughout his snooker career. Also a professional, taking big scalps, including Ronnie O'Sullivan, which we all know fairly well. It was a great game. First of all, Aaron, it's been a crazy 2 years. How was life as a professional these last 2 years?
Yeah, first of all, Jerry, I'd like to thank you for having me on the show again. Look, but the professional soccer hasn't been the best the last 2 years, but we're just all grateful to be playing snooker, as a lot of sports were cancelled during the pandemic. But as a younger player, you dream to become a professional, to play in front of packed crowds and TV, and that just wasn't the case this year. So sometimes it was hard to get up for games, if you like. I suppose I could have done better than my first season, but there's a lot of scalps there and a lot of positives to take, and I'm more confident than ever now going into this season, and I feel like I have a lot more to offer now this season.
Definitely, you're obviously learning a lot, like obviously beating Ronnie on the camera screens. Ronnie was world champion, first tournament. He had a little statement prior to that saying the lads coming up aren't good enough, but you beat him. What was it like coming home to that? Obviously, look, we sat down with your dad, we watched the game. It was incredible, though. Yeah,
it was unbelievable. The buzz back here I never felt anything like it in my life. It's just making me hungrier now to do it again, to get that buzz again. And his comments, I looked at his comments as a bit of confidence. Look, I'm going to show him what I can do, and he's going to regret saying that. But a lot of players might have took offence to it, but I didn't, because what's the point? If you're going to take offence to them things, they're going to be doing no good. So you have to look at that as a bit of a stepping stone and try to prove them wrong.
Definitely. And speaking of being a pro and stuff, look, it's been hard. I can only imagine as a professional how hard it is. Obviously, not knowing if you can travel to certain places, how you get there, when you get there, what you have to do. It's got to be frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, it was quite tough travelling on my own to every tournament last season, going to the same place in Milton Keynes. Look, the hospitality, and they're done great in Milton Keynes to have all the tournaments there, and it was brilliant. It's a great spot, but you kind of get sick of it going there every week, and it was hard. It was very hard mentally. I dealt with it quite well, but in patches it was obviously tough for me. In the other patches, there's a lot of players there folded all together. I've seen top players hit the table and leg it out the door. It was crazy, the things we saw this season, but it just making us look forward to get back to reality more than ever.
And you obviously have to go back to the room, so obviously there's testing and stuff. You're back to the room. It must be hard going back to a hotel room and wanting to be on a snooker table. You can't even probably go to the local shop or Costa, because it's so, it's one of these things you have to be cautious. But mentally it has to be very tough, tough.
Before every tournament we get tested, and there's not one player who wants to be with any player after being tested, because if I get tested and you get tested and I hang around with you and we say I test positive, then you're thrown out of the tournament as well. So after you get tested, you just go to your room on your own for nearly 24 hours, no socialising. So it was quite hard mentally. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I kind of adapted to it over the season. And it was tough not being able to. You like to socialise, go food with the lads or whatever, but the only socialising really was in the players' room. That was it.
It's madness, because it's nice to mingle with the stars, and obviously you can practice with the stars before the tournaments and stuff. Big game next week. I know your dad's going to be super proud of this game. It's a guy that we all grew up watching, Jimmy White. Huge odds in the game at the moment. There's a lot of bets going on here. It's going to be a massive game. What's it like to be playing Jimmy? And obviously it's a big game for you.
It's just a great opportunity now to be playing such a legend of a game again so early on in my career. I just can't wait. I love this. The coverage is on ITV4, so more or less it's going to be all eyes on this game for the day, I'd say. I love being on the big stage. I love coming under the radar. So a lot of people might have me underdog against Jimmy, I don't know, but I take that as confidence, and I love coming under the radar and prove people wrong. But I just can't wait to get out there. It's going to be a great buzz with the crowd back now as well. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of Jimmy fans, but I'll make sure there are Hill fans after the game.
I love it. And obviously, look, Jimmy's a legend. He's still going strong. You're going up the rankings. Obviously, you've got big targets towards the end of the year as well.
I think I'm 79 at the moment at the rankings, but there's a big gap between 79 and 64, and that's where you need to get that by the end of the season. So you've two ways to stay on tour: through the 2-year list, which is top 64, or you can go through the 1-year list as well, which is the top 8 players at the end of the season on the 1-year list. But the goal obviously is to stay on tour, but I'm not going to be thinking of that. I'm just going to enjoy every tournament as it comes. Not going to put any pressure on myself, you know.
Right, Aaron, how essential is it to have sponsors and stuff? I know you've got some great sponsors, and obviously it helps the player. For many years it was hard to probably get sponsors for any athlete in Cork, but obviously that helps you majorly in moving forward. Yeah,
it takes a lot of financial pressure off. The two lads are brilliant to me. Tomas Singleton, Supervalu, and the Macau Casino. It just takes a lot of pressure off my shoulders, really, and my dad's shoulders for financial problems or whatever. Just makes it easier for us. It takes the pressure off. We play snooker as well, so there's not pressure on me to win money or anything like that, because I always have them there by my side.
Definitely. And speaking of money, obviously, look, when everything kind of opens up again, Aaron, do you reckon there'll be exhibitions? I know you're a man of demand. I know probably every snooker club in Ireland wants you to come there. So obviously, when the chains are gone, you're looking forward to travelling around Ireland and doing exhibitions and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be a dream come true, really, travelling, doing exhibitions. Hopefully, we might get a few in with Ken Doherty around Ireland. The lads up the north, Mark Allen, Jordan Brown, Fergal O'Brien. There's a lot of nights we could have there, a lot of good nights. I just look forward for when them doors open. Hopefully I'll be on the other side of them doors.
And speaking of Jordan Brown, obviously look, he won a major. Obviously that's great for Ireland to see someone do that. Obviously he's got a big future as well in the game.
Yeah, he's one of my good pals, so when I saw him win it I was close to tears, being honest to God. Since I'm 15, 16, he's one of my biggest fans. He's been following along with progress, and when the first year I got on tour last year, he made me feel so comfortable there.
And you've played him a few times, obviously behind the scenes, behind the cameras. How's that gone?
Yeah.
Any exclusive? Have you beat him a number of times? Who's got the upper edge?
We actually only played once in Dunstable. We were practicing, myself, Jordan and Jamie Clark. We were playing winners phase on. I think we were playing like 5 or a frame or something. I think we all ended up coming out even. So none of us had any of us money. They're all in.
And speaking of Cork, look, we know Cork is iconic. We know the Crucible is iconic. A great club and stuff. Obviously, you learned a lot down there. We know Greg Casey's still making a name down there, and he's a big pool player. What's the Crucible mean to you? Obviously, look, it's a great club. It's in good ownership at the moment. We've seen some iconic names there over the years, and of course the great Jimmy. But what's the Crucible mean to you as well?
Look, I probably wouldn't be the player I am today without the Crucible. I learned, that's where I learned my bread and butter down there. All the hard work, practicing every single day down there, spending every bob I got down there, and then practicing with the likes of Greg and the other lads, Rise or Casa. It was brilliant to have them there to practice with me to improve my game. But yeah, as I said, I probably wouldn't be the player I am today without it, so the Crucible will always have a special part in my heart.
Now we have to speak as well about this GA. We know you're a big GA fan, Cork man, and yourself and your dad making headlines as always. Probably the best supporters in Cork. What's it like working with the GA and obviously doing all these awesome YouTube stuff?
Yeah, we're on the Gaga box now every game, so that's a buzz we've never felt before. It's unbelievable. On TV every week doing for the games is class. But for the All-Ireland final now we're doing it up there. So we got good news last night. The last episode of Gaga Box is going to be taking part in Croke Park. So that's going to be unbelievable to go up there. Look, we were close to tears last week watching the semi-final. How tense the game was and how proud Corkmen we are. But I'm going to the games all my life. And this is only our second time being in the All-Ireland final since 2006. And I've only been at one, and that was in 2013, and we lost. So
you should actually bring the Liam McCarthy trophy up to the player. Like, so if Cork win and Hoggy's the captain, I think they should leave you to do the presentation. Given the fact your style's from Cork, the fact you're representing Cork, I think that's a good idea. They should give you the trophy. You should walk the pitch and give it to Patrick Horgan. That'd be a idea.
Yeah, I agree. We're representing Cork well in the Gaga Box now. I say we're the best family ever to do it. No disrespect to the other families, but the attention we're after getting from it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, I agree. I think we should be able to walk up and give Patrick the trophy.
Definitely. And Aaron, last of all, look, there's so many young players today. Obviously, look, snooker halls are kind of restricted. Some are open and some aren't. There's a couple around the country, some big clubs. What advice can you give to them? Because look, they're obviously looking up to you. You're the ambassador for the young stars. You're doing it all. You're beating the best in the business. Obviously, there's a lot of practice, a lot of dedication. But what's the best advice you can give to them?
Look, there's like hard work, dedication, the hunger for the game, the love of the game. You need to want to spend all them hours in the club practicing even when your mates are going out. Yeah. And don't leave anything knock you down. Like things like this pandemic could have easily hurted me mentally, but I stayed as strong as possible and kept practicing hard. And that'd be the advice I'd give to any young fella. Just practice hard. Watch your idols all the time. I'm telling you, as I used to do. I used to watch Ronnie every single night on YouTube. I still do today. And that's just the key to success. I think hard work and the love of the game. You have to have the love of the game at all times. If you don't have the love of the game 100% at all times, you're not going to fulfill your potential. So yeah, that practice.
Love it. All the best against Jimmy next week. We're going to let you pass some balls. Have a go on.
Cheers, Jerry.
You are watching Sports Matters TV.